In this 16th lesson on the pentatonic minor scale, you're going to start learning the third melody by taking on and playing the first three measures of the melody itself. All right? Sound good? Let's go. Okay, we're starting at the 10th fret. We're playing a triad, a G minor. Your third finger is on 12 of the third string, your second finger is on 11 of the second string, and your first finger is on 10 of the first string. Now, that little squiggly line there is basically what we write out to show you that you rake across the strings. It's a single motion, but it's not a strum where everything is all at once. It's like a slow strum. And how you get it, it's like that. That's slowed way down. You want to be there on one. So you go 4 and 1, right? Like that. And how you silence your second and third fingers is by simply, after playing them and landing on the first string, you simply release tension on these two fingers, but keep your fingers on the strings. That mutes them, but keep that finger pressure on so it rings out for the full beat. Like that. So go ahead and practice that a little bit before you continue. Get that idea down in your head. Okay, let's keep going. So you've done this. Now your fourth finger, your fourth finger is going to be on the 13th fret of the second string. And your second finger is going to be on the 11th fret of the second string. Your third finger then will be on the 12th fret of the third string. Your first finger on the 10th fret of the same string, and then your third finger on the 12th fret of the fourth string. Okay? Now we're going to keep going because this next bit is really pretty simple stuff. You'll continue with your first finger on the 10th fret of the fourth string. Now you're going to transition from tied, where we've been playing, into nested, 2 frets back at 8 with your first finger. Then your third finger will be on 10 of the fifth string. Your first finger will be on 8 of the fifth string, then back up to 10, same string. And then you're going to do a quick 8 to 10, and you're going to hammer that. And hammer, as you know, is you play the first note and then slam your third finger down. So start at 8 with your first finger, and then hammer on 10 with your third finger. Now, I do encourage you to actually play that, pick that for purposes of helping you improve your picking technique. But ultimately, it is hammered. Okay? So let me play through these 2 measures for you. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and because of 16th notes, that's and okay? Now you have that swoopy line at the third beat going into the fourth beat, so you hold it over for 3 and 4, then and on those 16ths on the 6th string. Let me do this again. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and There you go. Pause the video. If you need to rewind and walk through the explanation and the demonstrations, go ahead and do that. Then pause the video again and practice playing this. Count it out as you play it, even if you're not playing in time, just so you know where the notes actually belong with regard to the count, okay? Then when you're ready to continue, We'll keep going. Okay, we're going to continue with the third measure here, doing what you started at the end of the fourth measure. At the end of the fourth measure, remember you did the 8 to 10 hammer-on the sixth string with your first and third finger. Well, we're going to move to the fifth string now in this measure and do the same thing, 8 to 10, first to third finger, and hammer on. Then you're going to move over to the fourth string and do the same thing, but with your first and fourth fingers. So pay attention, like that, so that on the next string, the third string, you're able to comfortably move back to 7 with your first finger and hammer on 10 with your fourth finger. And then you move back to 8 with your first finger on the second string, and your fourth finger is going to hammer on 11 and then pull off back to 8. Okay? And then you're back to 8 to 10, just like at the end of the second measure. All right? So again, we started with that in the second measure, at the end of the second measure. Now we're going to do it here, 8 to 10 on the fifth string, first and third fingers, hammer on. But now on the fourth string, again, first finger and fourth finger just 2 frets up at the 10th fret, because you're going to be moving your first finger back to 7 on the third finger, and your fourth finger will be on 10 on the third string, like that. And then you're going to shift back to the 8th fret on the second string with your first finger and your fourth finger at 11, and then pull off. And then you're back to the 6th string, 8 and 10 with your first and third. So here's how you count it. 3E and a, 4E and a, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. You see the third beat is dotted here, so that's the beat plus half of the fourth beat, so it's 3E and a, 4E, which is half of the fourth beat, and a, which is the second half of the fourth beat, just like in the previous measure. All right? So practice this. Now, what I'd like to see you do is, whoops, play everything. Don't just hammer it. Because what I see a lot of people do when they hammer is they'll do it in groups of 2. Like that. So what I want you to do is pick it so that you're playing it smooth and even, and count it. 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. And I want you to pick everything. This is going to help your pick articulation. Then when you're really comfortable and you understand that it's, whoops, that's the smoothness of it, then you can. Now I'm starting with the and on the fourth beat, so you're playing the whole lick. But it's smooth and flowing, and if you pick it first, then you'll know how it's supposed to sound. I know I'm kind of belaboring the point here, but it's important, okay? Then, so go ahead and pause the video, work through this, count it out as you work it out. Don't worry if it's in time or not. This is where you just want to make sure you're playing the notes on the part of the count that you're supposed to. 1E and a, 2E and a, right? And you're getting it right, even if it's not smooth. Then work on smoothing it out, okay? And when you're ready to continue, we'll keep going. All right, we've got all 3 measures put together. Let's play them together. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 So I picked virtually everything that time. Now let's play it using hammer-ons. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and a. Okay? Pretty cool. So you get to hear essentially it was played the same, but the feel using hammer-ons is a little different. So you really want to pay attention to that as you play through this, okay? So pause the video, rewind it if you need to listen to the demonstration, then pause, play through this, get it down. And when you're ready to continue, restart the video and we'll wrap it up. All right, there you go, the first 3 measures of the third melody. As you can see, we're ramping things up a little bit, making it a little bit more involved, challenging you to step up your game and to learn to use the pentatonic minor scale in more exciting and effective ways. Part of that is by playing faster licks. But that's not always what it's about. However, we are using this opportunity to help you get a little deeper into what is involved in playing more involved solos by making them more involved. Okay, so get through these 3 measures, make sure that you get them down well, and be sure to put it to a metronome at a tempo you can play through the whole thing smooth and flowing, preserving all your techniques and fingering. Okay, very important stuff moving forward, that you are playing smooth and flowing, particularly when you move to playing those hammer-ons through those sixteenths. You don't want to group them in twos like da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. You want it da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, right? Okay, so, all right, next lesson will be awaiting you when you're ready, as will we be. See you then. Hi, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, it's free. Hit the red button down there in the lower right-hand corner. Below the video, there's a gray notification bell if you want to be notified when new content is posted, which we often do about once a week. I also have Outsmart Your Guitar over on Patreon. That channel features content that isn't included here on YouTube, so you may want to go check that out. There's 2 levels of subscription there, and we'd really love it if you became a patron and showed us your support there as well. All right? Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.